If you're seeing this video, that means that you're on Type Soul and you're having issues with the Xbox controls. So we're gonna be here to explain how you can work around that. We have from settings you can use, things as far as lag, controls themselves, and etc. First off, you may spawn in, if you're a beginner or if you already played, you can spawn in with your progress or spawn in, select your race and all that, whatever world you get teleported to. The first thing you want to worry about are weapons. For controller already feels, for Type Soul, very inconsistent. So what I recommend, and it may be different for each person, you could use light weapons. You can roll for weapons. Light weapons. Me personally, light weapons work better for me. Heavy weapons, not so much. Sometimes it makes your M1s feel slower. Some people might like the slower M1s. Some, it might mess them up, make them feel more inconsistent. Next, going to key. Here you can set your own Xbox controls. You can set binds. Because without the binds, setting your own binds, I do recommend making your own binds. I don't do that personally because it feels more comfortable, but I do recommend it. Because most people in ranked you'll meet that are on Xbox use altered controls, made their own controls. Because without controls, you can block in combat mode, but you can't block outside of combat mode. Same thing for, press left bumper to sprint, but you turn it on, you can't, skills because of skill select. So now it's for the people who don't want to do all that extra stuff and create your own controls, because that might be a bit of a reach for you. There are some things you can do. For instance, build up a habit of when you're spawning in with combat mode off, get in the habit of turning combat mode on and off, because you might have to switch between it through fights, through grinding, etc. I recommend, this is what my friend taught me, what you should do is you should sprint while combat mode's off, turn your combat mode on, and it lets you sprint. If you get hit, or it will disable your sprint, you just have to flash step, and your sprint will return. That's the best way to have movement. See, bam, and then I'm sprinting again. Say I am M1, bam, I'm sprinting again. Next are skills. You just have to get used to using skills. Once you have your sword out, you have your sprint on, you switch the combat mode on, PvPing. Next are skills and builds. Some skills might be harder to use than others. For instance, let's see. I use speed because speed probably is one of the best for controller. If you're on PlayStation or Xbox. Don't even know if this game's on PlayStation, but if it is, PlayStation, Xbox. What you could do is, I know for a fact, the best is speed for Xbox, then Keto, then Kendo. Hakuda is not very good for Xbox because it involves a lot of close range interactions with NPCs or players in order to use combos or attack people. So I recommend using Kendo, Keto, or Speed. Those are probably the best you could use. Next is through combat. As of right now, I don't know a way to fix that unless getting in the habit of doing it. When you're in PvP and you're fighting, sometimes when people M1 you and your sprint is active, once you dash, flash step, they stun you. When you flash step, your sprint will return. So mid-fight, you'll have to go back to combat mode off, hold your sprint down, and then go back on mid-fight. That's why I recommend using skills like what I have, like this dash skill. I got skills like this. More move skills that move your character. Like speed skills mostly move your character for you a little bit, like dashing forward, slamming, going up and slamming down. You know, using like skills like the one I just used. And obviously, you know, Keto. Next is, well, not next, but also Keto skills are mostly like blasts, but they're mixed with punches as well. So it's really good. And they're also Sero Blast, like where you grab people and use Seros. Kendo is like mainly sword technique. It has some movement skills at the very end of it, but the beginning, you're not gonna have too many good skills at the beginning when you're first starting out. But for Xbox, I'd probably recommend first speed, then Keto, then Kendo. You can go Hakuda. Hakuda is not really good for Xbox. But if you want to go Hakuda and you plan on not using the original controls and you plan on using your own binds, then I would recommend going Hakuda, because Hakuda is really good and it's still usable if you go and use your own make your own controls. Next is getting forms and stuff. Forms and stuff aren't really hard to get on Xbox, or it's not really special or different from PC. I mean, the progression is basically the same, obviously. But the only issues I could possibly think of is fighting your Bankai boss on Xbox, your Bankai boss and your Shikai boss. Or maybe for Vizard, I'm pretty sure you gotta fight a boss for Vizard. Those are kind of things you have to figure out for yourself. Like once you fight them, you gotta get used to fighting them. Because for me, it might be different for each person. For me, I never really was able to do my Bankai until I got because I was trying to spin for a mythical the whole time. I kind of avoided the fight, and I glitched my poison boss out and got Bankai just by attacking it. So it's really something you have to figure out yourself. As far as ranked goes, if you're gonna play ranked, I recommend going to disabled servers for Xbox. Or if there's PlayStation only, I recommend going PlayStation only, because it's still kind of as bad as PC, because most people you might run into either also have their own keybinds or just playing on Xbox with a keyboard and mouse so they can get easy wins off of Xbox players. So definitely, if you plan on doing ranked or grinding ranked, unless you want to go on disabled servers and like farm off a friend that may let you win, that's a really good strat. Then I recommend making your own keybinds if you want to go ranked. If you plan on going competitively against other players. Alright, that's all. I think that's everything. Peace out.